Welcome back to the Perks Recap Podcast. It is week 14 in the NFL. We are on the precipice of that, and it is time to give some game predictions, get our power rankings in. What's going to happen at week 14? Al, do we have any idea?
Well, if anything has been proven this season, it's that we don't, and nobody does. This season has been wild, and I expect that to continue.
Me too. All right. Why don't you take the reins and host this show? Let's get it started.
All right, here we go, man. So we have the last of the bye weeks and 4 teams on a bye. You have Carolina, San Francisco, New England, and the New York Giants. 3 good teams and the Giants.
3 good teams and the Giants.
I love it. And boy, we don't always get good games on Thursday night, but boy, do we get a banger this time, man. And that is your Cowboys going to Detroit and facing the Lions.
Yeah, this is the last of the big 3 that I pointed to at the beginning of the year that was going to define the season. They've passed the first 2 tests. We'll see if they can get by this one, but it is not going to be easy. Detroit has it in for us for whatever reason. I think it goes back to that game that the Cowboys beat them and the guy didn't substitute correctly or something.
Oh, yes. Holy mackerel, yes.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, Dan Campbell and the Lions do not like us. So it's not going to be easy because it's in Detroit. But you can't deny that Dallas's defense, I'd say they're not elite or anything, or even, I wouldn't even really say they're good, but I think they're okay now. I think that's a fair description of them now. They're okay.
Yeah.
And from where they were, that's a significant improvement.
Mm-hmm.
I think I even mentioned, I said, if they can just go from 32 ranked defense to like 17 or 18 with the number 1 offense, that might be good enough to get them in the play, go on a run. And
absolutely.
I think that's about where they are. Not overall. Overall, they're still very low because they're going to take into account the beginning of the year. But for like the last month or so, they're probably in that 15, 16, 17 range.
Yeah, they've come a long way.
Yes. So, having said all that, I am a superstitious man, a superstitious fan. In the last 2 weeks, I picked Kansas City to beat Dallas and the Eagles to beat Dallas, and then I took Dallas as my upset pick. So I'm doing it again. Wow. I'm going Detroit 27-24, close game, but Dallas is once again my upset pick for the 3rd week in a row.
I love it. Yeah, if I could have bet on that, I would have. Because I get it 100%, and I wouldn't have moved off it either. And if they win this week, I would do it again next week. So
I'm not going to pick them the rest of the year if they keep winning.
Yeah, totally, man, totally. You'll be the king of the upset pick if they keep doing that. So yeah, and so what does Joe think about this one?
He also has Detroit 34-31.
Okay.
3-point games all around.
Well, that's interesting because I also took Detroit. This is a tough one, man. I mean, I would not be surprised even a little bit if the Cowboys win this game. Not even a little bit. So
Detroit's very hard to figure out.
Yeah, and they're impossible to figure out right now. So I'm just going with the home team in a game that I look at both teams as pretty equal right now. I'm just taking the home team. And oddly enough, I'm also picking Detroit by 3 points. And I'm just going with the same score as last week's Cowboy-Chiefs game, 31-28 Detroit.
Yep, makes sense. But we all have close games, so that shows this one can go either way.
For sure. No, I don't think anybody will be surprised at anything with this one.
Yep.
All right, moving to Sunday at 1. Not the game of the year. Tennessee at Cleveland.
Tennessee at Cleveland. This is the one time where I think Cleveland is a decided favorite and should win this game. They're at home. Their defense is pretty good. And now that Tennessee's rolling in, I think this is going to be a win, and dare I say, fairly comfortable. I think Cleveland wins this one 21-10. I don't see how Tennessee is going to be able to move the ball much against this defense, and Myles Garrett might get another couple sacks here. He probably will get another couple sacks here.
Yeah, this might be record week. He needs 2.5 to tie, 3 to break it. So he could get it this week. It wouldn't stun me.
Yep. And Joe agrees, a little closer, 24-13.
Okay. Yeah, I'm taking Cleveland also to win. I'm making it pretty close though, because even though the Titans just got destroyed by the Jaguars, they did play the Seahawks to a 6-point game 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to make of them other than that they're really bad. They also played the Texans to a 3-point game 3 weeks ago. Right. And the Chargers to a 7-point game 4 weeks ago. So there is some sort of track record of being at least semi-competitive, but then they've also been blown out by the Titans and the Patriots and the Jaguars. So who the freak knows is what I'm trying to say. But we're all on the same page. I'm taking Cleveland. I'm going to take them 19-17.
Okay, nice close one there.
Yeah, we'll see. Who knows? All right, moving on. We have one of the better teams in the league right now, Seattle at the Falcons. Not one of the better teams in the league.
Right. Even though this is on the road, Seattle's rolling. Atlanta looked just coming off a loss to the Jets. Kirk Cousins looks like he is absolutely cooked. Atlanta is in a free fall, in my opinion. There's a couple teams that are like kind of decent, but they're both in a free fall. The Vikings being the other one. So I'm not picking them in any game really that I can see, and especially not against a Seattle team that is showing that they might be the best or one of the best in the entire league. So Seattle, 34-20.
Okay, nice.
How about this? Nice. Joe picks them 34-21.
Oh, nice. I love it. And that makes perfect sense to me. And I am in the same, I'm not that close, but same sort of blowout for Seattle deal. I'm going 30-14 Seahawks.
Yeah. Now, this would be another like Carolina Panthers over the Rams stunner if Atlanta wins this one. To me, it would be anyway.
Yeah, it would even be a bigger stunner because at least Carolina was a 500 team. Atlanta stinks awfully. Right. So, yeah, I'm with you. It would be a big shock. Yeah. And the one thing I still want to see from Seattle in this game specifically is Darnold has had, he didn't need to play well that big game last week, so it's not that he played. He didn't play great, but he didn't have to. So, but the last time he had to play great, he threw 4 picks against the Rams. So we're still waiting for that bounce back game from Darnold. I want to see it.
Okay, that's fair.
Right on. Cool. Okay, now moving on to one of the more interesting games of this week. We have, man, I don't even know how to frame this one. I'm just going to say it. The Colts at the Jaguars. Fascinating one to me.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Can you trust Jacksonville to continue this hot streak they're on?
I don't trust anything about them, and I don't trust the Colts right now either, so I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah, the Colts have not played well at all. Since their hot start, they've definitely cooled off. We phrased it as the bloom is off the rose.
Yes.
And they're on the road here, so you got one team playing well, and you got another team that's not playing well. And the records are kind of close. Are they the same record, actually?
Exact, yeah. Yep. It's I believe they're both 8-4. Let me double check that. Yep, they're both 8-4.
So you have 2 8-4 teams, one team not playing well, one team playing well, and that team that's playing well is also at home. To me, that spells a Jacksonville 26-20 victory.
Okay.
But I'm not confident at all. And Joe is going to the Colts 27-23.
Okay, and I can see that too.
But Jacksonville is his upset pick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we should tell it because perhaps somewhat surprisingly, the Colts are a -2 on the road.
Yeah, I don't understand that, Quick. I really don't.
That's a very interesting line to me. I think part of it has to do with because the lines are not only about what's logical and how good the teams are. The lines are also about perception, um, which is why I always talk about the Cowboy bump and whoever's big, the Chiefs bump also um, for teams that. Whoa.
That's even.
Oh, okay. Right on. I thought my fire
Sorry.
alarm went off or something. You don't have a fire over there, do you?
No, I have a oven that beeps every time you try to turn it on and cook something.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Nice, nice. All
I
right,
can
good
set the
deal.
time, and every time I hit it, it beeps.
I love it. Nice, good deal, good deal. So, so anyway, I think this might be about the lingering perception from the Colts' hot start. It's my best guess anyway. But yeah, if I really knew what was going on, I'd be living in Vegas and working with the odds makers. So who knows? But yeah, I'm going with the home team. I'm going because I don't trust either team right now. I don't love either one. Um, and the road team, the Colts, has a quarterback with a broken leg.
Yeah,
Uh, so who's been injury prone his whole career. Um, I hope he gets to finish out the season and he pulls it together and keeps playing well. And like he was in the first half of the season, even more perhaps, because he's got a chance to lock down a starting job and get a big contract from this. And if he regresses the rest of the season or that minor break turns into a major break and he can't play, that goes out the window to a large extent. So I'm kind of rooting for Danny Dimes to keep it together. But I'm not going to pick it this week. I'm going to take Jacksonville in a close one, 22-19.
makes sense. Yeah, we all had pretty close scores. Yep.
Okay. All right, moving on. Not a barn burner, but an interesting one, at least an interesting one to try and pick. And that is the Commanders going to the fading fast Minnesota Vikings. And I don't know J.J. McCarthy's status. I don't know if you've heard anything. I'll try and find it while we're talking. If not.
Right. To me, it doesn't matter. And it also doesn't even matter if Daniels plays because I like how Mariota has been playing while he's been out. And Minnesota is in such dire straits now. I can't see picking them at any point while this is happening. There's no way I can pick Minnesota in this game, even on the road. I'm going Washington 24-13 because Minnesota's offense can't do anything. Especially if that guy, what's his name, Brosmer,
Yes.
if he's a quarterback, good Lord. And Washington, especially if Daniels comes back, then for sure. But even if not, I still think Mariota is good enough. He's shown enough, like we said in the preview show or the review show. You know, he's a serviceable quarterback. He's a good backup. He's been playing pretty well. I think no matter what, Washington wins this game, no matter who's quarterbacking either team.
Right on. Makes sense to me.
So I had 24-13, and Joe has 27-12.
Also Washington, I assume?
Also Washington.
Okay, yeah, well, there is news, by the way. It's not going to change anybody's anything, or mine included, but McCarthy has cleared the concussion protocol and will play this weekend. Not that that helps him out a ton because he wasn't much better than Brosner.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Washington. I'm taking them 23-16, no matter what combination of quarterbacks play like you guys. So yeah, the Commanders are not a very good team, so it tells you how little we think of Minnesota right now that we're picking them big on the road.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay. Now, this is a really interesting one. It speaks for itself. The Bengals at the Bills.
Oh, my goodness. Buffalo has been so up and down.
Yeah, really.
I mean, they've got some surprising losses.
Absolutely.
They really do. This is a tough one. I'm going to go with Buffalo because they are at home and they've got to get going at some point. I think I've said this over and over again. Like, they've got to get going and they still really don't. They win one, then they lose one. Cincinnati's coming off a good win last week, but this is going to Buffalo, and Buffalo needs this game. So because of that, I'm picking a high-scoring, fun one, 35-31 Buffalo.
Love it. That'd be a great game to watch.
Well, Joe's right there with me, going 37-34, also Buffalo.
Wow. Well, I thought I was picking a high-scoring game, but I'm the low guy in the totem pole here. Check this out. I'm picking Buffalo 31-28.
Yeah, that's the lowest one, but any one of these would be great. Now watch, this will be like 10-7.
Yeah, totally, man. Totally, yeah. That would be perfect. And you mentioned surprising losses for the Bills, by the way. No two better examples than this team, this Bills team, who a lot of people were picking to go to the Super Bowl like us, has lost to the Dolphins and the Falcons.
Yeah. What the hell's that?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Now, moving on. We got the Saints at the Buccaneers.
Okay, well, Tampa Bay with Baker all banged up and everything got a good win last week. Right? They won, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So, I know he's banged up. I know the team's kind of banged up, but they got Godwin back. Maybe they start looking a little healthier, but either way, New Orleans is in no position to go on the road and beat them. Tampa's fighting for the division. They need the game. So I'm going Tampa Bay relatively easy, 30-17. And Joe's got them winning 23-10.
That all makes sense. Absolutely. Yeah, Tampa Bay got Godwin and Bucky Irving back this week, and that was some reinforcements returning to the fold, which is huge for them. So I'm taking Tampa Bay. I don't know why I'm making it so close, but I'm going to. I'm making it 24-20 Tampa Bay. I think mainly because I kind of like what I'm seeing from Tyler Shuck, and maybe he can keep it close. And Tampa Bay hasn't not been awesome. I mean, they squeaked, even with those guys back, they squeaked out a 3-point win over the Arizona Cardinals.
Right. Yep.
So I'll keep it close, but I wouldn't be surprised if they destroy him.
Yeah.
All right. In one of the more interesting games this week against two teams that you cannot figure out to save anybody's life, that is the Steelers at the Ravens.
F these teams.
Yeah, man.
My God.
I'm with you.
Figure it out, one of you. I can't. I hate picking these teams.
It's tough, dude. I'm right there with you. It drives me crazy. I mean, Pittsburgh for sure.
Baltimore was putrid on offense last week. Putrid.
Yep.
And Pittsburgh was too.
Yeah, they might have been. They were even worse, probably.
Yeah, I don't know why I picked the score I picked. It should be more like 13-10. But I'm going simply with, I think Pittsburgh's even worse than Baltimore, and Baltimore's at home, so I'm going Baltimore 24-19.
Okay.
But Joe is going Pittsburgh. He really didn't like what he saw from Baltimore. He's going Pittsburgh 16-14. That's more likely the score than my score because these offenses look really, really bad.
And listen, Joe made some progress in his standings last week by picking the Bengals over the Ravens, and neither of us saw that coming.
Right.
And so maybe I should go with him, but I'm not. I'm going home team just because I can't stand the way either team looks right now. But Baltimore did just win 5 games in a row before last week.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, Pittsburgh's been in a spiral for a while, and Aaron Rodgers had one of the worst games of his career last week, and there's no signs of them improving at all. So, having said that, they'll probably win by 30 points. But I am picking real ugly here. Baltimore 13-12.
Ugh. For a game that has a lot of implications and is a sexy kind of matchup, Pittsburgh-Baltimore, I'm really not interested to see it.
I know. I only want to watch it just to see, like, if to figure out how bad. There's too many other good games at 1 o'clock, so I probably won't watch much of it. But my interest in turning it on would just to see, like, what is going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
trying to figure out what's up with these two stinkers.
Yeah, yep.
All right. Moving on to the last 1 o'clock game. Speaking of stinkers, we got the Dolphins going to the Jets.
Jets at home coming off a win, but Miami is coming off a win, and they're also coming off a few games where they've played a lot better. They weren't.
Yeah.
They were a complete disaster early in the year, like a disaster.
Yep.
And they've kind of righted the ship a little bit. Not anything crazy, but they look like a competent team to some degree.
I agree.
And going on that, the Jets don't look like a competent team on any degree. Even though they just come off beating Atlanta, they're at home. I'm still going Miami, and I'm going 22-20.
Right on. Right on.
But
Joe?
Joe is going the other way. Second straight game. I picked Baltimore. He picked Pittsburgh. I picked Miami. He's going with the Jets.
Score?
19-16.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, this is a toughie because, the Jets did have one of their better games of the season last week. But they're horrible, and they did it against a really bad team, so it doesn't mean that much to me. The Dolphins have been steadily improving ever since they fired I can't even remember anymore. I was just trying to remember while you were talking. Was it their offensive or defensive coordinator that got fired a month and a half ago?
The Jets?
No, the Dolphins.
Oh.
Because remember, we were surprised McDaniels survived.
Yeah. I don't remember.
A second. But either way, they've been a different team ever since. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm just going with a better team, although maybe it'd be smart to go with a home team because neither of them are very good. Oh, it was the general manager. It wasn't a coordinator.
Oh, that's right.
I knew somebody got fired. It was Chris Greer. That's what it was. Okay. So, but yeah, they've been leaning more and more on the run game, especially since Tyreek Hill got hurt, which certainly makes sense. And Chan is having an unbelievable season. So I'm going Dolphins. I don't love it, but I'm going Dolphins 23-20.
Yeah, tough one to pick for sure.
Yeah, it really is. All right, my man. Moving on to the 4 o'clockers. We got Denver at Oakland.
Las Vegas.
Oh, geez, man. I still call them. I wrote Oakland. That's hilarious. That is so funny. Madden is coming back from the grave to coach them.
They need him.
Yeah, they really do.
Denver coming off the bye. What did they won? 8, 9 in a row?
I think I want to say 9, but I'll double check while you're talking.
I think it is 9. They're on a heck of a roll. They are clearly one of the best teams in the league now. You gotta put them right up there. 9 straight wins or 8 straight wins, whatever it is.
It is 9.
9 straight wins. You can't deny that. So there's no chance that a Raiders team that is playing really, really poorly, even for them, I don't think they have any chance to beat this team. So I'm going 26-16, and that might be generous. Joe is going a much bigger score, 34-17.
Right on. Yeah, I'm with both of you guys.
Sorry. Denver.
What was that?
Denver's not coming off the bye. They beat Washington. I think they had the bye the week before.
Right on. Yeah, I didn't catch that. I'm sorry. I would have jumped in. Yeah, so I'm with both of you guys as far as who's going to win the game. I think I can't imagine there's anybody on the planet picking the Raiders this week. I'm taking Denver big also, 35-14.
Yeah, the Raiders just aren't showing you much the last few weeks.
Yeah. Yep. No. They're absolutely awful. And I mean, they have 2 wins all season, and one of them was a week 1 win over the New England Patriots. which seemed, like I said last episode, seems like 100 years ago now, you know?
Yep.
All right. The next one, the Rams going to Arizona. Arizona being led by Jacoby Brissett, who's playing his ass off and not winning anything.
Okay. I think poor Arizona. I think the Rams are going to lay a hurting on them for what happened last week because I still believe in the Rams. I did not leave them in my number one team in my power rankings. There's a little bit of a preview, but I considered it. I considered even coming off the loss to Carolina, leaving them as my number one team. I'm still uber confident in them. I have 42-19 Rams over Arizona.
Love it.
Joe has 34-17.
Right on. Yeah, I'm going a little closer just because Brissett has been keeping this team in games. They've been blown out a couple times, and they've been the last 2 weeks, they've lost by 3 points to the Cardinals and the Buccaneers. Or to the Jaguars and the Buccaneers, sorry.
Yep.
So I'm going to keep it close, but I expect them to win, the Rams to win, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's closer to the you or Joe's score. I'm going to take the Rams 31-24.
Okay. Yep.
Now, there are a few potential games of the week. We hit the Indy Jacksonville, I think, is one of them. Certainly the Cowboys Lions, no doubt about that. Maybe even the Bengals and the Bills could be really fun this week. But this next one, big game, huge stuff on the line. That is the Chicago Bears at the Green Bay Packers.
Wow. I mean, two teams playing so well. They're both playing well. Coming off big wins.
Mm-hmm.
But this is tough this one was really tough for me. I went back and forth a few times. I landed on the home team simply, and I am not comfortable either way. This can go either way. I would not be surprised no matter what happens. I just happen to kind of land on Green Bay 23-21. Would not in any way, shape, or form be surprised if Chicago wins this game.
Right on. It all makes sense to me.
Joe also landed on Green Bay 20-16.
Okay. Well, I thought somebody would be different in this one, and we're not. I'm going Green Bay too. They've both been playing well. I'm not picking either one of them in a negative way. I just simply, like you, kind of went with the home team here because I flip a coin on this one. They're both playing really well. I can't believe Chicago right now has the best record in the NFC heading into Week 14. That blows my mind. So credit to them. I'm going super tight because I don't know what to do with this one. I'm going Green Bay 28-27.
Yeah, this is a flip a coin game for sure.
Really is, man. Really is. All right. Now, speaking of potential games of the week, everything on the line for one of these teams, and that is the super hot Houston Texans at the not so hot Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. Houston's playing well. Stroud is coming off a pretty good game. Nico Collins had a good game. Kansas City, Mahomes played well. 4 touchdowns last week, but they still lost the game. And the Chiefs are on the outside looking in, 6-6. We said last week it was like kind of must win for them. Now it's really must win. They've got to win out to even have a chance of making the playoffs. They might win out and still not make it, but they have to win out to even give themselves a chance. I don't know if they will win out, but this is as desperate as Kansas City has ever been in a regular season game, especially in the Mahomes era. I expect them to do everything in their power, everything they can. If they're going to play well one week this year, it's got to be this week. Just based on that, I'm going to go with them 26-23. Would not be surprised if Houston puts the nail in the coffin and puts them in a losing record and basically knocks them out of the playoffs. Would not surprise me at all, but I'm going Kansas City 26-23. And Joe's got them as well, 20-16.
Okay. Yeah, man. This was a really tough one.
Yep.
But like you said, Kansas City's backs are against the wall. I will probably be done picking Kansas City against good teams after this if they do not win this game. Um, but I'm sticking with them for one more week because they're at home. If this was a road game, I would have picked Houston all day long if Houston was at home.
I think
Um,
so too.
yeah, and I would not be surprised in the least if they win. I'm picking Kansas City 20-19. Houston is my upset pick.
Nice, nice, nice. That's a good one.
Right on, right on. All right, man. One game left, and talk about tough games to pick. Holy crap! Philly reeling, going to the Chargers, who have been up and down all year, and now their quarterback has a broken offhand.
Right. Do we do we know if he's playing?
It said the ESPN was scrolling while we were doing the earlier pod, and it said Herbert expects to play Monday.
All right, I'm going on with that, with Herbert as playing.
Me too.
But even going as that, I kind of see Philly not as in dire straits as Kansas City is, but I also see Philly in a situation where they gotta win this game, just to quiet everybody down, calm everybody down. Because if they lose this one, the noise is going to be deafening.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're the better team still, especially if Herbert's banged up a little bit. So I'm going to go 27-20 in a tight one, but I'm going Eagles. But Joe, you know he does not like the Eagles, and he went the Chargers. He went 23-20 Chargers, and I don't blame him one bit, not at all.
Well, guess what? I don't blame him either. And check this out, dude. I'm taking the Chargers 23-20.
Really?
I can't believe we picked the exact same score.
Oh my God! Yes, you did.
That's freaking bonkers, dude. And yeah, I picked this is how tough this one was for me. I had actually picked the Eagles 16-14 originally and picked the Chargers as my upset pick because, by the way, to the listeners, Philly's a 3-point favorite on the road still. But I backed.
That is. That's weird.
Yeah, right. So, and I think again that's a perception thing because Eagles are the Super Bowl defending champs. You know what I mean? I don't think there's any realistic way they should be a 3-point favorite on the road. Maybe a 1.5 at the most. But I flip flopped all the last couple days, and I finally just said, you know what? I'm going Chargers because there is nothing from the last couple weeks that tells me the Eagles can beat much of anybody right now. So I'm just going with the home team and hoping I'm wrong.
Now that I look at it, I don't see any scenario where they're going to score 27 points because they don't do that.
Yeah, it would have to be there would have to be some defense involved.
Yeah. To be honest, if I was going to change it, I probably would change it to the same score as you guys, 23-20.
That's awesome.
I'm not going to, though. I had 27-20. I'll leave it. But, by the way, that's the only one me and you are different on. Joe had a few other picks that were different on, but just me and you, we were the same up until that last game.
Well, and I hope I'm wrong, honestly, but at least I'll have a consolation prize if I am.
Right. So there you go. That's our Week 14 game predictions and preview.
Man, this is unbelievable, man. This season, what a another tough bunch of games to pick, man.
Crazy.
All right.
Power rankings.
Dun, dun,
dun. All right, let's do it. My number 5 team last week was Philadelphia. I have knocked them out of my power rankings. They are not there.
As they shouldn't be.
And my number 5 team, my new number 5 team, was my number 1 team. And that's the Rams. I did not drop them out of the top 5. They were my number 1 team. They're still there, but they are at number 5.
Right on. Okay.
Joe had number 5 was Green Bay, and his number 5 is still Green Bay.
I can't argue with either of those. My number 5 is the same as last week, Chicago Bears.
Makes perfect sense. It's funny though, they had like the best record in the NFC, and I have other NFC teams ahead of them.
Right, and I get it. You know what I mean? Like, you could make a case they should be at least the number one team in these power rankings of NFC teams because they're the number one seed in the NFC right now, like you said. But it still just doesn't quite feel like it to me. Although maybe I'm wrong. You know?
So now that I look at it, I only have one other NFC team ahead of them. But anyway, they are my number 4 team is Chicago, making their debut on my rankings.
Right on. Nice.
I had Denver in there, but they are in a different spot.
Dig it.
And Joe has Seattle number 4, even though he had been number 3 and they won 26-0, and he dropped them to a spot to number 4.
Interesting. Although he agrees with me now. So, I have Seattle at number 4 also.
All right. Number 3 is the aforementioned Broncos. They were my number 4 team. It was a tight game, but they did get the win. They've won 9 in a row, whatever it is. Their record is what it is. It's undeniable, and I think they deserve to be that number 3 team. So they are my number 3, and Joe agrees. They are also his number 3.
Right on, and this is where the Rams fell out of their number 1 perch for me.
Okay. That makes sense, yeah. They can't stay number 1 coming off a loss, at least in our eyes. But not in everybody's. We'll get to that. From number 2 is Seattle.
Right on. I respect that for sure.
I have them number 4, but their defense is really impressing me. They are playing very well. I do need to see Darnold, bounce back a little bit more. But I mean, to be honest, they might not need it. Playing a team like, just destroying Minnesota, and then a team like Atlanta, it might be another game where they don't need it. They might not need Darnold to do much. The defense most likely is going to shut Atlanta down, and we have big scores, them winning, which might lead them to become, raise even higher and become my number 1 team. But anyway, they're my number 2 team.
Right on.
Joe's number 2 stays the same, and it's the Patriots.
Okay.
That was his number 2 last week.
Right on, and I'm right there with him again, like we were with, I guess, what was it, Seattle? I think we had the same. I have the Patriots at number 2 as well.
Okay. Oh, I think I have a guess on who your number 1 team is, and it might be a little surprising.
Aha.
But I'll say my number 1 team, they have the best record in the NFL, and I am making them my number 1 team. The New England Patriots are number 1 in the power rankings for me.
Right on. Nothing unreasonable about that, man. It was a very close call for me.
And I told you that not everybody dropped the Rams all down off the number 1 perch. And even coming off the loss, Joe still has the Rams as his number 1 team.
Right on. And I mean, I would disagree, but I can't blame him too much.
Right. Exactly. I feel the same way. Because week to week, it's going to change. And it's crazy how much it changes each week. Your feelings on these teams just change all the time.
No doubt. And, and the reason I dropped them is because I don't feel like, to me, that tells me that Joe thinks the Rams are clearly the best team in the league. And to me, there is no clear best team in the league. So I'm not, nobody that loses a game is staying at number 1 for me for the rest of the season.
Can I guess your number 1?
Yeah.
Did you put the Broncos as number 1?
Boom.
Wow. I love it.
There's two lost teams left in this league, and it's them and the Patriots.
We have 3 different number 1s. I have the Patriots, you have the Broncos, Joe has the Rams.
And that's a really good indication of how this season is going, and you can't hotly debate any one of them too much. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, I would debate the Rams coming off a loss, but that's, I get where Joe's coming from because I can see still thinking they're the best team in football. I could see that case. I really can. So, cause it's hazy, man. There is no clear cut thing. To me, because it's so hazy, using things like record for sure. And I'm also not going to keep anybody, nobody's not moving down off a loss for me either. So, those two things, it had to be either New England or Denver for me. And I already had Denver at 2 last week and New England at 3, and they both won their games. So, I had no reason to jump New England over Denver. So, but you can make a case for New England or Denver at number 1 easily.
My power rankings don't reflect my picks, though. And neither do yours.
Oh, that's
and neither does Joe's, because we all picked Green Bay to beat Chicago, but we all have Chicago ranked or close to ranked, and Green Bay not ranked.
Yeah, and Green Bay, I wanted to bring that up. That's cool you brought that up, and it's a funny thing.
Oh, no, Joe has Green Bay ahead of them. Joe has Green Bay as number 5. Chicago's not ranked. Me and you have Chicago at 4 and 5 and didn't rank Green Bay anywhere.
Yeah, and Green Bay is my easy number 6. Like, it's very, like, before, remember when we first started doing this, we both had, like, 4 to 6 teams that, like, were hovering outside the top 5 that you could have made a case for. It's not like that anymore for me. It's Green Bay is the clear number 6, and then there's a whole nother group behind them.
I consider Green Bay, Houston, Jacksonville, Buffalo, San Francisco. They're all kind of right there, but I would say Green Bay is probably number 6 as well.
Yeah, I would have Green Bay ahead of all those other teams you just mentioned simply because their record's significantly better.
What about the Green Bay-Chicago thing? The fact that we have
it comes down to who's at home.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I have them 5 for my personal rankings. I have them 5 and 6. You can't get any closer than that. And the 6 teams at home, so they win. You know what I mean? But but I also made it a 1-point game. I couldn't make it any closer. So it's
if Green Bay wins, they go to number 5. Chicago drops out.
Oh yeah, and they could move even higher depending if Seattle, LA, or actually, who's
Seattle, the Rams, Patriots, Broncos.
Oh, I was checking my bye week. No, and because New England can't lose, so they can't. They can only drop like 1 spot or something for not playing this week. In the way I do my stuff, like the Rams could win convincingly and bump up ahead of New England maybe or something like that. But yeah, Green Bay would move into the top 5 for sure with the win over Chicago at minimum number 5.
Yeah, I think same for me.
Right on.
All right. Those are the power rankings. We did our picks. We did our upset picks. Everything got done in a nice, tidy 42 minutes. Not bad at all. That's one of our lowest recordings.
Man, it's like we're like Flash Gordon over here. I love it. Good stuff, man. That was fun as always. This season has been a real hoot because it's been so freaking weird.
So crazy. My God. Oh, my goodness. I'm waiting for Atlanta to beat Seattle.
Yeah.
Because that would be right on line with Carolina beating the Rams.
Yeah, it would be perfect. It would be absolutely perfect. Or, how about the Raiders beat the Broncos?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a division game. At least there's something there.
Right. Yeah. Fred Biletnikoff gives a stick 'em to the whole Raiders sideline and they go big.
Yeah. At this point, nothing's going to shock me. I can still be surprised, but I don't know if I can get shocked anymore because there's just been too many things.
I'm with you, man. Yeah, our senses have been beaten into submission, and we will accept pretty much anything now.
Absolutely, because this is by far the craziest year we've had since we've been doing this.
No doubt, 100%. I'm so with you.
Yeah. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, Al, I'm going to sign off. Do you have anything else to add?
I did have one thing I wanted to mention real quick. Sure. Every now and then, our listeners, our faithful listeners, will know that we bring up Soul Joels here and there. I have a very interesting show that I'm going to on Friday, and I just wanted to throw it past you because you're one of the few people I know that I guarantee will know who I'm talking about. On Friday, I am seeing Michael Winslow.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic! I didn't know does he do stand up? What does he do?
He does. He has been a stand-up comedian since before he was in Spaceballs.
Oh, my goodness. He was in Police Academy, too, wasn't he?
Police Academy. Well, that was the big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Police Academy, he was in like almost all of them, I think. He was in most of that franchise, and there were like 6 or 7 of them. He was also, his film debut was in one of the Cheech and Chong movies. I always forget which one.
Oh. Well, for those that don't know, Michael Winslow is an actor a comedic actor, and he can basically make any noise with his mouth. It's almost strange on how good he is at it. In Spaceballs, he's the guy, if you've seen it, who they go to the side, they go over to him, and he's talking about, I've lost the sweeps, the creeps, and the bleeps, and they're like, what, the what, the what? And then he makes the sound of the computer.
Yes, exactly. And that was really him. Like, some people don't even realize it's really him. And and you want to see something cool, did you ever see him jam with the Roots on Jimmy Fallon?
No.
So he does, with his mouth, he makes guitar sounds, and he plays Jimi Hendrix and I think it's Purple Haze and A Whole Lot of Love by Led Zeppelin.
With his mouth.
With his mouth.
Oh my God. Not on an actual guitar, just making the sound from his mouth.
From the sound of his mouth into the microphone, he sounds like freaking Jimmy Page and Jimi Hendrix. It's insane. And it's like, it's not like a pale imitation where you're like, oh, that's kind of neat. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah, his voice acting is unbelievable.
Yeah, man. So I was supposed to see this show back in early November, but it got rescheduled because he is, and I'm sure you've heard this because I know you're a big movie buff. He was on set filming Spaceballs 2.
Yes, which I know is coming. I can't believe it.
Which Mel Brooks is directing at 99 years old.
Good for Mel Brooks.
I love it. I
hope
he
he's
makes
Yogurt.
the debut.
I hope Yogurt's still there.
Yes. Absolutely. I grew up with Mel, and I loved. I mean, he was putting out movies before we were born.
Yeah.
You know,
Blazing Saddles,
Young Frankenstein, and then I fell in love with Mel Brooks forever with Spaceballs. I was the perfect age for that movie, and I loved it to death.
Yep, me too. That's where I really discovered him.
I mean, cool. Well, that's all. I thought you'd get a kick out of that. I wanted to throw that in there. That's all I got.
Yep, I love that you knew that I would know who he is.
I would have felt more confident about that than any pick I've made in our podcast this year.
Love him. Love Michael Winslow.
Nice.
All right. Well, we definitely need a review on that next week.
Oh, help me remember. I will definitely do it. That'd be great.
I'm going to write it down on my thing here, and I'll make sure to ask you about it next week.
Perfect, man. That's awesome.
All right. Nothing else to add, so let's sign off. Make sure you guys check out the review show, the Week 13 review one. If you haven't checked that one out, I will, of course, put out on Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon my power rankings YouTube short video that I do with the power rankings you just heard. If you had, if you heard